Predictions, predictions, predictions. It seems like for 9 months of the year, the watch enthusiast community love to speculate. Which Rolex models will get the chop and soar in value, and what novelties will be unveiled. The build-up to March 27th is an exciting time for all of us, for the flippers amongst us dreaming of a big potential payday should one of their own collection become discontinued, and the rest fantasizing over their dream new designs. Forget Christmas, this is the most wonderful time of the year. 50 year, 60 year, 70 year anniversary specials, platinum watches, green dials. We all drool over the Instagram renders. Hype and fantasy aside though, knowing how Rolex roll, what can we logically expect to see? So to kick off this video about Rolex then, I want to talk about Patek Philippe, and specifically the brand new Patek Philippe Nautilus 5811. Now this is a solid white gold watch that Patek Philippe ingeniously introduced only a few months ago back in the summer to replace the stainless steel version 5711. The stainless steel Nautilus had a retail price of £28,700 and the new white gold Nautilus has a list price of £56,190. So that represents a 96% increase just because it's white gold, because as far as I can see the design isn't really that much different anyways. Now why is this important and why is this relevant to Rolex? It's relevant because it's an ingenious business solution in terms of how to maximize their margins. They know the buyers at the authorized dealer were making a lot more money than Patek Philippe when they came to flip it to a secondary market dealer like myself. So what they've done by reintroducing exactly the same watch in white gold and hiking the price by nearly 100% is they've basically captured a much bigger margin for themselves. I can see logically, as a businessman myself, Rolex really standing up and saying, oh, well done Patek, that's a great idea there. You've used a new material on a watch that was very popular and people are still buying it and they're still going for above the retail price on the secondary market. Win-win for Patek Philippe, of course. So why wouldn't Rolex do that? Rolex have spent, I imagine, quite a while investing in the tooling and the research and development for the brand new titanium deep sea challenge. Now this is their first ever production run of a titanium watch, and clearly there's going to be more to come. And that is my main prediction for 2023. It makes absolute, logical, perfect business sense that we will see new titanium watches at Watches and Wonders this year. And it's not just Patek Philippe who are at this game as well. Where titanium is concerned, today I'm wearing the Amiga Seamaster 007. This is a solid titanium watch with a titanium mesh bracelet, titanium case, and this retails, guys, at £9,300. Amiga's standard steel version of this watch retails at £5,500. So that is a 69% premium that you would be paying for the titanium version of exactly the same watch from Amiga. And I can absolutely see Rolex applying a similar sort of principle. Now, where am I going with this? Well, this year sees the 70th anniversary of the Submariner line. Now, usually they make that particular watch out of platinum. We've seen that with the Daytona line previously. There are rumours going around that they'll do that, but they are rumours and they are hype rumours, which I frankly don't like to take any notice of, and I think it's almost comical that people are saying that Rolex are going to make a platinum Submariner. This is a dive watch that submariners are meant to wear when diving to depths of 300 meters. So they absolutely don't want to be weighed down to the bottom of the seabed by their platinum wristwatch that weighs a ton. So that doesn't make any sense at all from the great tool watch brand that Rolex is to do that. What does make sense is they craft the new Submariner out of a lighter material that actually facilitates better diving, which of course would be titanium. We could quite easily see this year the Submariner no date discontinued in steel altogether and replaced with a titanium Submariner no date, which I think would probably be priced at least £14,000–15,000. It would sell like hotcakes. It would go for a premium on the secondary market of at least £5,000 to £10,000 over that list price. So again, everybody would be a winner, and it makes complete business sense for Rolex to do that. This year also marks another anniversary for Rolex, particularly with the Daytona collection. It is the 60th anniversary of the Daytona line. Now, lots of people are saying that there might be a brand new design, maybe a 41mm Daytona, perhaps a new movement development altogether with Rolex's new chronology escapement, which is much more highly anti-magnetic than the current model that's been in production since the turn of the century, the year 2000, that was introduced. Personally, I can't see there being a new movement for the Daytona. I don't think it's particularly necessary. The power reserve on that watch is more than adequate anyway. We absolutely are not going to see a Daytona with a date window. It's never been that way. It's never going to be that way. That's pure fantasy if you're seeing renderings of those floating around on social media. What I can absolutely see is potentially a new dial colour for the steel option, and with the two-tone range, there might be an introduction of a ceramic bezel there. There will also possibly be new dial options carried over from the solid gold Daytona line. The Rolex Milgauss, my goodness, I'm tired of talking about this every year. Please discontinue it, Rolex, so I don't have to talk about it anymore. They are well overdue a discontinuation of this model, at very least. Well overdue a new movement with an upgraded power reserve of 70 hours to come in line with the rest of the collection. It's also a bit weird that Rolex's flagship anti-magnetic watch does not have the anti-magnetic capabilities of some of the other watches in their line that have that chronology escapement. So what they could very well do is something similar to what happened with the Explorer 2. The great launch of the brand new Explorer 2 that looked exactly the same as the Explorer 2 that came before it, and that was a 60th anniversary special. What it did come with was that upgraded power reserve with the brand new movement in there. We could absolutely see exactly the same design of Milgauss, but one that's just been upgraded with that new movement cased inside. We've gone through the logical stuff of what I think might happen, and I'm going to react to some of the fantasy renderings that I've been seeing floating around on Instagram. So let's have a look at this first one then. We've got a titanium Daytona. Well, I did predict that. That's possible, absolutely. It's the 70th anniversary. There's not much change gone on there. I don't think that's a 41mm. It's exactly the same case dimensions, same design as it was before, but could be offered in titanium. Oh dear. That is a Milgauss, which is, with the black dial, I think an ugly watch anyway, with a ceramic bezel. A little weird. It's still got the same fat case dimensions in this design, so that makes no sense to me either, and it makes no sense that Rolex would make it even uglier than what it was before. Oh, that is quite handsome. A solid yellow gold Explorer 1. Nice. It's a nice watch, but the success of the two-tone version that they brought out a year or two ago didn't really happen. It's, you know, not many people ask after that watch on the secondary market, so we've only really stocked it a couple of times at Beat the Waitlist, so it doesn't really make any sense to me. But a solid yellow gold Explorer 1 doesn't really make much sense, because traditionally this watch was used by cave explorers, or spelunkerers I think is the correct term. You know, that isn't going to be very hardy. It's going to scratch as soon as you breathe on it, so cave exploring, no. I like this, I really do. A red bezel Submariner. This is possible. We know that the Chinese market and the Asian market absolutely are pining after red dials. Certainly Amiga have jumped on that bandwagon with the Aquaterra range, and there aren't really any Rolexes with red bezels or red dials that exist in the current collection. So it would absolutely make sense now that China have come out of their elongated lockdowns. And what have we got next? Oh, I can't stand these. Slap a green dial on everything. I mean, that seems to be what anyone who's got a mild proficiency with Photoshop seems to do with Rolex nowadays. We've got a green dial sky dweller, which is all right, and that would obviously sell like hotcakes and go for God knows on the secondary market, maybe 30, 40,000. A green dial Milgauss again, possible. This isn't experiencing an anniversary, I don't think, this year, so it doesn't really make sense why they would do that. But again, it's just people who haven't got that much imagination and creativity slapping a green dial on everything that is Rolex and saying, oh, this might happen. So guys, that concludes pretty much everything I've got to say about predictions. One thing I want to make very clear is, if you are hearing rumours about watches potentially getting discontinued, please do not act upon them in going out to the market and purchasing a watch hoping that in a few days' time it will go up in value. I've lost money doing that. I won't be doing that this year. There are big rumours that the GMT Master 2 Sprite may be discontinued. I'm already seeing inside dealer trade groups and advertised online, this watch is starting to creep up in value. So that must be driven by an increase in demand, and people are starting to buy the GMT Master 2 Sprite hoping it will be discontinued. Anyway guys, thanks very much for joining me. As ever, go check out beatthewaitlist-watches.com and I'll see you next time. Take care.